Yo, this is Art the Architect with More Than a Haircut podcast. Man, I got a special guest on. Man, first and foremost, man, introduce yourself, bro.
Man, my name is Mike, and I'm here with my OG,
Yo,
Ari, the God, the Architect,
yo,
and I'm just here to chop it up with the OG and see if we can get the people some knowledge. So
for sure, man. I wanna start off. I want to start off from an angle of cryptocurrency. You know what I mean? I know we're gonna get into some art and different things like that, but the reason I wanted to get into the crypto space is because it's an article. I want to say I sent it to you. I don't know if you don't have it, I'll send it to you after this as well. It's two articles. So the first one is the one from Forbes where in London they sent 20 billion in cash onto the blockchain. Right.
mm,
This was last November. Right.
okay,
So
and this is the government that sent it to
I think it was the bank. I
the
want to say it was
bank.
the bank, if I'm
The
not
bank.
mistaken. So in July, what is this? This in June with January, February, March. So no, July. So
July.
in July, check this out, and I'm just gonna read the heading of the article. It
Okay.
says MasterCard expands cryptocurrency program to allow more firms to issue cards on its network. So these are a couple of key points.
Mm-hmm.
MasterCard has signed a deal with Wirex that makes the London-based firm the first native cryptocurrency platform to gain principal membership. The move highlights a deeper push from one of the world's biggest financial services companies in the still nascent cryptocurrency industry. Cryptocurrency payment cards aren't new though. Coinbase launched its own Visa card last year, while Wirex also offers a Visa card. So I'm just in my mind like, okay, if if and in fact they put the 20 billion, and I read part of this. Oh, I think
Okay.
HSBC is the bank. HSBC moves 20 billion from paper to blockchain in one of the biggest financial deployments.
Mm.
20 billion, not million, not thousand, not 20,000, 20
A lot
billion.
of money.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, if this is the case, why why make the move? And then in my understanding, stuff takes time.
Yeah.
Like me being in the garden, me planting some food, and I can't eat from the fruit the same day I plant it.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I know if you put the money on the blockchain, the value is gonna increase or decrease once what I'm saying you turn it from paper money to digital. So like, have you heard anything on that, or like what's your thoughts on that?
No, this is actually my first time hearing about it. Um, and if you could break it down to me a little bit more, like
What?
what what does it mean for blockchain to have, because this is probably a question somebody that's listening will have, because this is the
Yeah.
type of question I would have if I was listening. What does it mean for blockchain to have $20 billion? And not, $20 billion is obviously a lot of money, but what is it like to the average person? What is that exactly?
So the crypto is similar to the paper money, if I'm
Right.
not mistaken. But when you're investing into crypto, from everything that I studied from the crypto, you're actually investing into not only money but the technology behind the money. Meaning like Bitcoin is working just like this computer is working, just like
Okay.
Zoom is working. You know what I'm saying? It's technology behind it that's making it operate and things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm in understanding is when you're dealing with the blockchain is simply like it's similar to a bank. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Being able to manage the transfers or the different payments that's going through that's dealing with the exchange. Meaning you say I have a pizza and the pizza is let's just say $10, roughly $10. And I
Okay.
say, well, let's trade 10,000 Bitcoin, and each Bitcoin is worth 3 cents. So
Mm,
let's trade these 10,000 Bitcoin for this piece.
okay.
You have to go and set up a wallet, or you can deal with a wallet. I have a wallet too. We exchange the funds. The funds go through. Now that exchange happens, and the blockchain is how you're able to exchange the money.
Mm. Oh, okay. Through the blockchain. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Because everything is time stamped, so that's
right.
where your ledger is happening.
Okay. Okay.
There's
So,
you can't copy it. Just like people taking actual dollars and turn them into $10 bills or $50 bills. You can't copy this transaction. It's only gonna
right.
happen one time.
One time. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. I guess the question I got out of listening to that is, so blockchain makes it possible to use for like Ethereum and Bitcoin to coincide.
Yeah, and really, 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 multiple coins. You know what I'm saying? The altcoins
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
all coins.
Because
Okay.
and I'm bringing this up because I saw something else take place this week. I saw the rise in gold and silver. So that was another thing that I was gonna talk about. Like when I saw that silver went from like 1400, and I mean not
Mhm.
silver, but gold. Gold was like 1400 an ounce, and now it's like 2000 almost an ounce.
Wow.
You
I
know,
was I was actually looking into getting a refinery. Do you have a refinery right
I'm,
now?
I'm not familiar with the
With a refinery? Okay, yeah. I think we gotta look up on that and then tell the people
yeah,
where they can go find that.
we'll talk on that. But I saw the price increase. I saw it fluctuate up. You know what I'm saying? The upward spiral on the gold. But then I also saw that like Bitcoin is up to $11,000. So
Mm-hmm.
this is just me. I'm not, what I'm saying, I'm not a financial advisor to direct anybody to say go invest all this money. But I
Understand.
remember I remember when Bitcoin went up to 20K, and then it dropped down, and it dropped down about like maybe 5 racks. But now it's been gradually increasing. I saw it hit 7, and I saw it hit 8. And I'm like, okay, I started looking at, could this could Bitcoin be the gold and the digital currency?
Mm,
And
that's deep.
and
Deep
we still have to use gold on the structure of on a human level.
on the physical. Yeah, yeah. On the
On
esoterical.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like silver, just like copper. You know what I mean? Like I heard people say that copper is good if you want to use it for drinking water and this, that, and the third. So I thought
Mm-hmm.
about buying copper and creating cups that I actually drink out of and eat out of as well, because of the elements in the body. But yeah, I was just paying attention to that. I saw the increase in silver. The silver ounce went from like 17, $18, and now it's like 25. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I was actually listening to a podcast. Patrick Bet David.
Not
He
familiar.
does that. Yeah, so he's kind of like a Joe Rogan, but in the financial world. So he interviews like all these like high ranking financial people that's like really successful, from like Magic Johnson all the way to like um somebody that was like on the White House financial board. He's like that. And he just interviewed supposedly the guy that says he's Namoshi Takayashi, the dude that invented the
Bitcoin.
technology. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bitcoin. And he was saying Bitcoin, it looks sexy right now, but it's not gonna be what it was intended to be, because the use of it now is like, I don't know how he put it, but he was saying like the use of it now is just more like it's being gambled, right? Instead of it being used
Okay.
as like money to circulate. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can't.
So I believe cryptocurrency is the future,
Mhm.
but I think Bitcoin, if I want to put it to something that I can understand, Bitcoin will be like a Friendster or like a MySpace. Somebody's gonna learn from Bitcoin's mistakes and create the real thing that we're going to end up using in the future. So I think Bitcoin is the blueprint, or like the
a novice or a practice mode.
yeah. Because right now the way it's looking, a lot of people aren't sold on it, and that's our perception now. You know what I mean? So it's going to be hard for that to change, because a lot of people believe Bitcoin or know that Bitcoin isn't backed by anything. But you just mentioned gold, so I don't know if it's now being.
That's what I'm saying, because it's like, and the reason I brought this back up, because a few years ago I was telling people like, look, XRP is a coin that made me think about, and I'm going back into the conversation that we initially started on, with the fact that if a bank put 20 billion on the blockchain, right? Then they say, well, we're gonna take this to the MasterCard, right? And you can exchange the cryptocurrency. All right. What makes me think they hadn't been studying XRP, which is the Ripple coin, which I'm seeing the value increase slowly but surely. It's starting to rise. So watch this. They did say they were looking at creating a digital currency.
Right.
Why wouldn't they create a digital currency?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't I invest into this digital currency that the government plans on creating? Why wouldn't I learn about blockchain technology with voting, with money transfers, with pooling things as a collective in the community aspect? So I feel like, you know, like I was saying with XRP, I feel like, and this is just me looking at things and saying that I was saying that the government was gonna come out with a coin, and now the digital part.
Yeah.
So if the banks have patented a coin, they've already done the research, they already have people studying it. Why wouldn't they set up something to say, okay, if you do direct deposits, all right, go and download this wallet that we created, and this is how you're gonna get paid with these coins right here, right? So peep gang. My brother went to China, at least, like, I think it was like 3 years ago. So he walking through, he paying for his food on his phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I recently watched a video on China that what they've developed in the last 30 years. I'm 39. The last 30 years, they shitting on America.
Let me tell you why.
I want to
You know
ask.
why? I've been, because my favorite place in the world, apart from Africa, because that's where my people from, is Japan and Korea. So Korea, I've been there once,
Okay.
and so I studied Japan. You know, Asia and Japan and Korea and China and stuff. And why they kick our ass, bro, is because they'll lose the battle to win the war.
Yeah.
Basically saying they're playing 100-year game,
That's what I
200-year game. We playing, like, you know, America's playing like a 5-year game, 10-year, 20-year game, but they're playing for the long haul. So like even with the Great Wall of China, it was like
thousands of
they
years.
did that, yeah, thousands of years. So they created the blueprint for generations and generations and generations to be able to follow that exact blueprint.
Yeah.
You know, we can't even, you know, that game Telephone, when you tell one person in the room, yeah, some people can't even keep up with that when there's 20 people in the room. So just imagine thousands of years, them being able to focus on one single
Idea.
blueprint. So that's been ingrained in their culture for, like, you know, centuries and centuries. So that's why to me, that's why they kick our ass. So like, I study them, man, and like in a good way. You know what I mean?
Look at. Got two
One
things.
second.
All right.
My fault.
No.
Got my choice.
Look at these three things. Number one, when the you know, they were selling property in Detroit. Guess who was buying up the land? They were.
Asians.
Yeah. That's number one. Number two, some that I studied on YouTube. Um, how China was basically loaning money out, and
Mm,
how they bridged the gap to get into the culture of America was through the movie Transformers, where they were buying ad space in these movies.
mm,
They went to these, these African countries and other countries and said, "Look, we'll give you $1 billion loan, but if you default on this loan, we want your land for 99 years, motherfucker."
ooh, they cold.
If you default on this loan, we just gonna take your shit and we'll give it back to you in 100 years. But it's like they done got all the natural resources. They done got
Yeah,
everything and access that they need, and they setting up they transportation system and all that shit. But it's
yeah,
like if if we only look at this thing from a local level or just a neighborhood level as a micro, and we don't look at the macro from a standpoint of what's actually going on in the world.
hmm yeah. We behind, man.
We play. I mean, it's like the the I say the imaginary blindfolds are saying like what's presently going on in the streets. I can't knock nobody for saying, Black Lives Matter and this, that, and the third. I can't knock nobody. But when my eyes see a similar situation that's already transpired go on in the present day, and then I see it, and instead of me being reactive, I'm proactive. I'm gonna keep going in the way that I'm going versus going down the tunnel of, oh man, I'm finna get hit in the head with a rock. I'm finna get my ass busted in the streets. You, you ain't really ready for that war.
Mm-mm.
You know what
No.
I'm saying? Like you said, lose. So if we lost the battle with civil rights, why weren't we pushing the thing forward now to look at this shit from a human rights standpoint and go in a different direction, which that means that we will be in a different space and a different time now. But like you said, the blueprints, the blueprint that was set out like the Great Wall of China, we not even looking at that. It's certain people now that are talking generational wealth and not only talking, they are extending a hand to make sure people understand. Like, look, this is
Yeah.
what generational wealth is. They passing down the information to the young. They making sure that they get it.
hmm
I understand it, bro.
Yeah. Like, and that's facts. But and then like even now when people talk generational wealth, it's only like they son or they daughter. You know what I mean? But I think it's good that that's a start. But I think we need to think about even our son's son or our daughter's daughter. You know what I mean? And and as far as like going out there and fighting that fight that we tried to fight when they killed Martin Luther King or when they beat Rodney King.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a redundant thing, and it's hard to go against that and say like that's not the way you fight it, because every part of the battle is needed, so to say. Like so, like from the intellectual part, the people going into the courthouses or going to town hall meetings, to the people in the street. So every part of the chain is needed. Um, so
I'm gonna take you somewhere with the Asians then, since you said that. Just to be the devil's advocate. You know what the
okay.
Asians did on here on the bombing of Hiroshima? You know what they did? They
What's
said
that
they said fuck that shit. You said to lose the battle, but to win the war.
word?
Most people got PlayStations in their homes. Most of the products are made from China that we deal with and use on a regular basis for the last 50 years. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? So they like, all right, we're gonna kill and get rid of the weak links of
yeah,
all of this shit. And the strong gonna survive. So to me, I see them as a superpower. You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? Because and I'm not like again, I'm not knocking the youth. I'm not knocking what you saying. I was just giving a devil's advocate view.
No, I understand. Trust me, I'm with you.
So it's
You know
like
what I mean?
so it's like I respect the young, and I'm like, yo, yeah, go. Okay, you gonna go knock out this window. You gonna go burn this cop car up. You gonna go do some old dumb shit. Woo woo woo. You gonna do some shit that you feel is emotionally right. That you gonna feel in your mind, and then it's like, okay, you gonna live and you gonna learn. So my thing is, after you get through that, I want to be
Yeah.
the help of the direction to say, okay, what skill set do you have?
Mm-hmm.
Can you pour concrete? Can you train a robot to pour concrete? Because this is what we battling with next. Can you train or can you code a robot?
Right.
Are you do you know what cryptocurrency is? Do you know how to fix glass? Do you know how to grow food? Do you know how to make guns? Do you
Mm.
know how to design shirts? Do you know how to design? Do you know how to protect your community?
Mm.
So it's like, where's the presentation of these skill sets? Because we can march and yell and scream all motherfucking day. I seen some people twerk in the streets. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, well, if
What's
that's how
going
you feel, I'm like, but it's like it's counterproductive. It's a lot of
very
counterproductive things going on. But I'm like, again, man, that's your piece. That's what you say. I'm just giving you what I see.
yeah.
I can't lie.
And it'll take time because like one of the civil rights leaders just passed.
Mhm.
So that means when he was, rest in peace to John Lewis. So that means when he was alive, it was still Jim Crow around, low key. Like it might have been some slavery, some, you know what I mean? Who knows? But like to see how far we've came to now, and I just think a lot of things are being watered. I was just watching an interview yesterday, a 5%. I forgot his name, but he was saying like a lot of things are just being watered down.
Yeah, all this. I mean, like this
You know what
whole
I mean?
shit, the whole shit in the streets is not
Black,
organic at all.
yeah, Black Lives Matter, watered down. He was saying like hip hop in the next 20, 30 years, we're not even gonna recognize because it's gonna be watered down. You know
It's
what I mean?
already, it's already watered down. Just like we can take you, I can take you to the situation with the young dude, 42 Doug. You know what I'm saying? And not just him, but how is it that you went from the knowledge of the 5 percenters was heavy in the rap? And not saying that this is the only lane and only way to go, but how you go from singing love songs in the music, actually
Yeah,
actually having some concrete to talk about, and it's still stuff to talk about. Don't get it twisted.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And now I was looking at let me talk about 42 Doug first. He
yeah.
said something about sucking dick to pay the rent. At least that's what we heard. If that's what he said, that's what he said. Hey man, that's your prerogative. Do what the fuck you do. I can't
But
knock it.
he
I
was saying
can't.
that for himself or like a female. Uh,
I don't know. I'm just saying from the OGs, from the ones older than me, that's what it sounded like was coming out.
yeah, that's
So
crazy.
that's crazy if that's what it was. But now let me take you to some other lanes. I was watching an Outcast video. These dudes was like 19, 20, 18. They had some older dudes around them, just like older guys in the NBA in the past, help train, and not necessarily train, they help guide guys like Charles Barkley to put him in a suit and not wear a jogging suit through the airport, to look
Yeah,
like something, to be, you know what I'm
professional.
saying, a professional. So I was looking at an Outcast video and it just happened to pop up. I don't remember them having guns and shit all in their videos and shit.
Me either.
But it's like their message carried on, and they talk some tough shit. Wu
Yeah,
Tang the same thing. You know what I'm
Wu-Tang.
saying? A lot of cats around the era that you know what I'm saying, that I grew up in. So it's like for me to see the last 30 years, like I talked about China, where it is and it has advanced. It's like you go from saying I telling a woman I love you to now you like fuck that bitch and everything she about. I love my niggas, fuck that bitch, whoop whoop whoop. But it's like if this is the case, And the younger guys don't understand these are homosexual tendencies in which they speaking on. Like
Yep.
you're not telling me you homosexual.
Yeah.
And
Right.
your actions, you are presenting this in a way. But
Exactly.
nobody's checking this shit. Nobody's saying anything. So it's like these things have to be checked. Talking about generational wealth.
Yeah.
Are you gonna carry this shit on in the because it's like it's a lot, man. Like
How do you? Okay, as an OG, right? Because one day, you know, I hope I'll be in that position. How do you check that? Because right now you can't even say, yo, like that's gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like you
well,
get
right.
canceled.
All right, so for me, it's just more or less what I learned and I understand in purpose. It's like I have people that I consider OG. So to the old, I'm young. To the young ones, I'm old. So it's like
Right there.
I'm a bridge.
You
I'm
in
a
your
bridge.
prime.
Yeah, I'm a bridge to communicate what the young saying to the old and what the old saying to the young. So it's just like, all right, how do I approach this? So when I sit at the feet of the elders, I can pass the wisdom down to the young. So now let me see. Okay, let me meet this young. Let me meet these young cats where they at.
Yeah.
I'm not finna elbow you in your head and you know what I'm saying, call you ignorant. I'm gonna see what you on because it's something that you have that I need to be paying attention to. Why? If I don't reach you, then I don't understand how to reach my son.
Mm.
If I don't reach my son, how is he gonna reach once he have children or he decides to? How is he gonna reach the next generation of you? So
Okay.
then, like, I did an interview with a homie from Africa. You know what I'm saying? Born and raised Guinea. He
Mm.
was like, I was like, what have you noticed? He was like, Americans are lazy. And I was like, I agree. Dude know 4 languages.
Mm.
These, his tongue, his native tongue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was able to he's able to communicate
Yep.
from where he is across, you know what I'm saying, across the water.
Mm.
So you telling me we can't do the same thing? You telling me we can't learn Spanish or we can't learn Arabic? So it's like, okay, what I was reaching for then is to say we had an opportunity where I was watching BET and it was a show called Teen Summit back in the day. Goody Ma was talking about Behold a Pale Horse and so many other books. They got that knowledge from Busta Rhymes. Most people don't know that. He passed them gems to them. He opened them up to a lot of shit. He was on the 5% knowledge in Nation of Islam. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like, okay, if you got BT owned by a so-called black person, we able to drop gems, drop jewels, and this, that, and the third. Today, guess what we could be doing? So you got these youngsters going to these so-called black colleges now. They can be getting trained and interviewed by BET. But guess what? BET is no longer owned by so-called black people.
Right.
So guess what? The media and how we promote to the people, we don't control that shit.
Yeah. We're not even talking to us.
You know
The
what I'm
people
saying?
talking to us, ain't
So
even us.
yeah, so what happens if someone that doesn't look like me and doesn't give a
Yeah.
damn about me promote violence, different cultures, all kinds of shit to me that's poisonous to me? Um, that group of 10 and 19-year-olds, when they become 20 and 29, they're gonna be fucked up. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's on. I'm not saying that they then someone make it through, but think about all these financial gurus that could be talking on BET right now. Think about the homes and the modeling that can be redone and rebuilt right now. So that's power and the infrastructure that we got to restart now. But the great thing about it is sitting down in this quarantine now, or this pandemic, whatever you want to call it.
I
You
like
got
that.
you ain't got nothing but time on your hand.
Right.
So if we don't see an improvement in the lyricism, man, we can't do nothing but look in the mirror and say we dropped the ball.
Mm,
You know, that's just one aspect. If somebody not sitting back writing a movie right now,
man,
just
talk about
no different than me getting in the garden and me saying, okay, I plant some food.
it. Hold on, Nari. It's your thing is paused. Hold on. Okay, you back, I think.
Okay, so me getting in the garden and me planting food and me learning and to like, I found peace. And that's like what have you been doing during the quarantine and during your downtime, you know, to really just enhance what's inside and bring it out?
Mm,
What have you been doing?
me personally?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think I told you about this. I'm building an app,
Mm-hmm.
an actual app, um, and it's basically it's called Bizzychain. It's actually supposed to drop in like the next 72 hours. It's under review right now
Okay.
on the App Store. And basically what it is what we're talking about. It's connecting independent artists in music, film, and fashion, and it's just basically like their social media or
Okay.
their. I don't want to call it social media, but it's just a networking ground for those people. And then also on the platform is going to be strictly like educational videos and stuff like that. So you can go on there and like learn different courses. You can connect with people. You can book people anytime,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you can create projects with different people from around the world. So like say you played the guitar. I like how you played a certain sound, right? And there was a drummer in New Jersey that played a certain beat that I like, so it's just bringing people from
All different walks.
right in one to like for project management and to to see the art that's out there, and it's just more convenient to find what you're looking for, because like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, it's a bunch of noise on there. You know
It's
what I mean?
it's a lot of noise.
Yeah,
But
it's a lot of noise.
it's a lot of noise, but it's a lot that you can if one has to be focused. Cause like, you know, I might joke around. One of the homies had he's a photographer
Yeah.
and he had some chicks on there that was naked, but they, you know, they was covered up in certain areas. And I was like, hey man, you got a job as an oiler. I was just tripping, but I'm just like, you know, I can see how time can be wasted with little shit like that.
Hold on, Ari. It's breaking up again. My bad.
Nah, you cool.
Um,
You
okay.
straight now?
I think, yeah, you back.
All right. So, you know, with like you said, it is a lot of noise, right? So with that being understood, it's just like I try to connect with people that are going in the direction I'm going in.
Mhm.
If not, I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times people will hit me in the DM like, "Hey, bro, thanks for posting that," or this, that, and the third. You share a lot of information, a lot of knowledge.
Mm.
But I'm like, really, motherfucker, I'm posting it for me because I don't want to miss this point that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that
Yeah.
I wanted to see for myself. So I'm glad that you catching it. I'm not necessarily doing it just for you. Like
For
yeah, I'm not doing it for, I'm doing this to like come back to it. Whether it's some intriguing barber post, it could be the way somebody painted some, it can be something that's said that goes against the grain, like what Kanye, like when Kanye was speaking the past couple of weeks.
you got to talk about that, man.
Let's go. Let's
Just
go.
tell
Well,
me what you think
well,
about that.
no. I'm gonna let you speak first. I
A
wanna
little
add
bit.
to, yeah, how did you feel?
Okay. and anybody that knows me know I'm a Kanye stan. That's my guy,
Okay.
right? That's period. That's my guy. From creativity to even like 80% of the points he makes,
87.
right? No, 80%. 80% of the
87%. I was about to say that motherfucker wild. I'm listening though.
but a lot of his, I think right now, the family he's in, some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, I can't trust it all the way because I think a lot of it right now is for publicity. But and we all know Kanye has like a mental issue, right? But I think a lot of the things he say when he's communicating, when he's talking, he just it. You know how like when some people talk, it starts in their brain, and they kind of like filter it out, they digest it, filter it out, and then they speak it. He just like the first thing that comes in his brain or the first thing he thinks, he just says it out. But I think what he was trying to say when he said, what's it called? Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves. They just went to go work for other slave masters. It's a fact.
It's a
You know what I mean? And that it's a fact. But yeah, but we have to put context to it, right? We have to make it make sense. That's like digestible for everybody. That's no different from. I think he has well, he does have a song called "New Slaves," right? Basically, like we're in a new time. Slavery, obviously, we're not going for it, so they just had to find a way to enslave us, like mentally, right? Back then, it used to be like physical slavery, and then they kind of like beat on us until it was mental. Now it's a mental state, and and I feel like what he said was true, and maybe yet actually not maybe, but for sure she did free slaves that might have been being beaten by bad slave owners or like ones that were getting killed or whatever. But they just went on to maybe the north where it was still white people running shit, right? And I think what he's advocating is own your shit. You know what I mean? We don't own shit. So even today, if I say I'm quitting I work for Macy's and I'm quitting that job because Macy's they don't like black people and I go work for uh JC Penney, like it's still the same, it's still ran by the same type of, you know what I mean? It's not my shit. So I think he was just basically trying to advocate we don't own shit and I own my shit and I'm just trying to get y'all to own some shit. Because whether we like Kanye or we don't like Kanye, he owns his shit.
Well, I agree. Like, just let me know when I can chime in.
Oh yeah, this is you. Yeah, I'm here to learn.
So when I get a chance, I'm gonna send a video of not just the portion that the media sent out. Like, first and foremost, what does media mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean? It just means the middle or the median. You know what I'm saying?
They accept the shit.
So exactly. So every coin has two sides. So if the media says this is the point that we're gonna drive home, a basic motherfucking mind or a basic mind is gonna say, man, Kanye, we need to cancel Kanye, right? Yeah. What I do when you start speaking, I shut the fuck up and I sat back.
Listen, yeah.
And I listen because I got 2 ears and I got one mouth. Use the tool between your, you know what I'm saying, your 2 ears. So it's like, okay, the media pushed that out. We petty as a people. We petty as a motherfucker. Petty. We don't want to hear each other out. So how you gonna counsel the same dude? You know what I'm saying? That started. Let's take it to his album.
Talk about it.
How much did he pay in Texas?
I forgot.
He ain't had to pay shit. You know why? Because he got a church. People ain't even looking at that shit.
They not even going. They just ignoring everything else.
I ain't gotta listen to the music to see that he taking people on the plane.
Forget all that.
Performing on a boat. Hold on. The next thing. How many of these motherfuckers have been saying on land? That was one of the big points that didn't even get discussed on the or broadcasted, other than a video that I posted and it's shared. And I'm not saying I agree completely with Kanye.
Right.
I you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm gonna take time out and I'm gonna listen to what he's saying. Why? Because it make a whole lot of sense to me. Why? Because when he was talking about the movie Get Out was about him,
Right.
I've been seeing it.
Yeah, that's
That's obvious. You
that's
know what I'm
obvious.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like Kanye ain't crazy. Kanye, because I look at I look at I look at what he doing. He's a magnet. It's a duality in him. He is a messenger of the gods. That's what a Gemini is.
Mm,
Tupac, Andre 3000. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? Who else? Curtis Mayfield, like, and some of my elders that I know. They are messengers of the gods. It's a duality with them. It's a lot of them when I talk to them, they like 8 different people
yeah.
because they have so much knowledge in so many different areas.
Mm,
And when they speak, you got Trump is a Gemini. Most people don't know that,
okay.
you know. But I don't think Kanye said anything wrong. I just think people need to listen. We need to shut out being combative.
Right.
If we listen to each other,
Hmm.
take time out to like really listen.
Yeah. And not get emotional. We emotional, man.
Emotion is simply energy in motion.
Mm,
Once that energy in motion and that emotion rise, we ain't the ones that was breaking out the fucking windows and burning shit up.
mm,
But I can't tell my mom and them that because they don't understand. Like, okay, social media gonna show us this shit. Y'all looking at the same TV that y'all been watching it that's been pushing this shit down your throat.
right.
Kanye also said, the same motherfuckers that came up with the books that we learned from, that
Mhm.
y'all learned from too, mom and dad, granddad and grandma, who produced all them books? It
Who's
wasn't nobody in my family.
who's the publisher? Let's talk
Who
about
who's the publisher? So you think that if I'm the publisher, I'm gonna give somebody outside of myself the credit and not my own people to drive you in the way in which I want to drive you? You
it.
think
Right.
you think I'm not gonna control the narrative? I've been battling with myself recently. I talked to my homeboy.
Mhm.
Um, 10th grade, I was in 10th, 11th grade, I was in geometry class with 100 average.
Mm.
Asked my teacher, like, white lady, man, what's the purpose of geometry? Bitch didn't even answer. I call her a bitch because that's what a female dog is. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you give me the tools I needed in order to go forward? One, because you didn't really give a fuck about who and what I am. Two, that was on purpose.
Mm.
I got drive and I got ambition, and I'm like, shit. If I got that, oh, geometry is all around me.
Mhm.
Geometry is the circle of life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you understand sacred geometry, the brick wall behind you is geometry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can show you a sunflower. I can show you the sacred geometry of a sunflower.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why I was saying what Kanye said. Kanye dropped some gems.
Gems, bro.
He was talking about Garvey and some old people, but it's like you only got pieces of the puzzle. You
Hmm.
only got crumbs because man, we don't control the fucking media.
Yeah. And
The
I think,
so-called Jews control that motherfucker.
yeah, are we gonna talk about that? And I think they did that, they blew that part up so it distracted us from saying, Kanye does have 3,000 or 30,000 acres of land in Wyoming. You know what I mean?
Who
Like, so we like, okay, we like, okay, she didn't free the slaves. I'm mad at you. So now whatever you say, I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna buy land because I'm spiting Kanye. I'm not gonna better myself because
Yeah, you're not gonna listen. And right now, somebody probably sharing that same post I made on Facebook. Somebody sharing that motherfucker right now.
yeah.
That's just the thing. People catch on late. I'm not, I can't be mad at them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
People don't see things at the same time you do. People didn't understand when Pac was saying, when you look at it, they don't give a fuck about us. He said this over 25 years ago.
But why we care? Why we? Oh,
Tupac was saying they don't give a fuck about us.
so we gotta do for self is what you saying?
He had he was the Gemini. I said
Yeah.
there was duality.
Mm-hmm.
One of the only people I know that shot an off dude, that shot the police, that shot back at him and got off on that shit.
And got off. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if Pac was saying this and cats couldn't formulate it, but you just got it. Like if I put some data in a computer, you just got everything he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
He had to dumb himself down,
Yeah.
in order for people to understand.
Yeah.
Like, why is it that you 25 and you got to lead 50-year-olds?
Man, talk
All
about.
your OGs in jail and they locked up to this day, right?
Yeah.
But you got these pedophiles out here running rampant around this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you telling me that, Mumi Abu Jamal can't be out right now? Batulu Shakur can't be out right now to help?
Man.
They know acupuncture, bro.
Man.
To cleanse the body. They knew this they knew this, not they know this knowledge. This ain't no belief.
They literally locked up our knowledge, bro.
So it's like, how come I can't learn from the 5%? How come I can't learn from NOI? How come I can't learn from Malachi Z. York? How come I can't learn from the Crips? How come I can't learn from the Bloods? How come I can't learn from the banker? How come I can't learn from the plumber or the accountant?
Mm-hmm.
Because at one point in time, we were doing this. We were doing for self. That's what the Nation of Islam teach you.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I hear people, they shit on. You know what I'm saying?
Because it gets drowned out again with the religion. You know what I mean?
But it wasn't even really about the whole thing of religion. Sometimes you got to use that in order to draw people in. That's what Marcus Garvey did.
Yeah.
Guess who he was taught some information from? Noble Drew Ali.
The God.
Yeah. So it's just like, where is this information in books to be taught and passed on to the youth? It's no different than learning that books in Alexandria were burned. But now you telling me that Pythagoras came up with mathematics? I don't believe that.
I don't either.
I think you just put your name on the formula. Don't get it twisted. No different than a day if one of us come out with a dance or one of us wear a beanie, and now you seeing a commercial with a white chick on there wearing a motherfucking beanie, and she want to get credit for it and make money off of it. I'm just giving you an example of, we create things, they take credit for it.
Just like that we was watching that documentary in the shop today with Dapper Dan and them.
Come
When
on,
he created all that fly shit and they took it.
yeah, but it was like he did take what they had and, you know what I'm saying, put his own twist to it.
Okay.
So you really laid a foundation, and then what they turned around and did was they took the ideas that he had,
Yeah.
enhanced theirs, sold it back to the culture at a higher price, and it don't, if you're gonna do something, refeed the culture. Because
Right.
again, they don't give a fuck about us.
At
Like
all.
this is literal on the physical, but this is also in the subconscious too. If they don't give a fuck about you, why are you spending money with them? I don't see the Asians doing it. They will drive 2 hours just to spend money with the Asian at the Asian market.
That's a fact.
I know Asians do this shit.
That's a
I
fact.
got partners that's Asians.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, don't let me forget this point about Pac though.
Oh, come on.
I was mad at Pac from like when I start being like thinking for myself or whatever. I was mad at him for a lot of years because I did see that he dumbed himself down, and I'm like, yo, why he doing that? Like it kind of looked like it was like a trickery type of thing. But now I understand when you said in the beginning, like you have to meet people where they at, and a lot of people he was talking to, you know,
They didn't have knowledge of self. He had so much knowledge of self that you gotta think.
man,
He would think about like in your youth,
yeah,
you having to listen. Who is the brother that's the that was over the Black Panthers? I can't think of his name right now. Huey P. New.
yeah,
This is one of the people that you sitting down learning from on a regular basis, including your mother.
the mother, his mom was powerful.
So if his mom powerful, and then you take Mutulu Shakur, Mumia Abu Jamal, Sekou Odinga, like you take these people away. Think of Pac as a wild elephant. You got a wild elephant terrorizing everything. Everything he touch, he terrorizing this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't have those general elephants around to help subdue the energy of what he has. You got destruction.
Yeah.
Nobody conquers that energy to send it and direct it in a way in which, look, feed them like this. Mutulu Shakur, he was furious at Pop. He's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
But you can only do so much behind a prison wall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he was to do what he's done in 25 years. His spirit's still alive. You know what I'm saying? And well.
Some people.
Nothing's gonna change. You know what I'm saying? Like, but me listening to the music and seeing them, the youth out there, and they bumping this,
Mm-hmm.
or me telling my homegirls, and they sending me messages recently like, hey, remember you told us it was gonna be a so-called black president? I was like, I understood what Pac was saying when he said he got the brain to teach a whole nation, what he was looking to set up. And then you bring along a brother like Nipsey.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like he doing some stuff similar to what you were saying with a company
Bro,
called.
you went out, Art.
Am I in?
Hold on. You gotta run that back. You had one out.
All right. So I was saying, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you.
All right. So Nipsey was talking about you know, he got on this app called Vest, VEZT.
Yeah, you told me about that.
All right. I started making money from it now.
Mm.
So now I'm gonna go and do a YouTube, you know what I'm saying, for it. Like
To teach it. Okay.
Not necessarily teach it, just the fact that it only got 30,000 views and this video been out since 2017.
Mm.
So just imagine somebody like Master P or Wu-Tang, Cash Money, or Lil Baby, Da Baby, NBA Youngboy, you know, because he just ran into some fuck shit where he can't even get his catalog. It's like we gonna keep running to the fucking wall. Like ain't nobody gonna pull the coattail. Like, hey, bro, come here, let me holler at you. I know you mad. I can't stop that, but you need to handle your business in a certain fucking way. But it's like now you have to learn it. Now you want your masters. You can't get them. Why ain't you got to understand your leverage at some point. If he didn't learn it, I hope these youth paying attention. I hope the youth paying, because if they not, they gonna go up shit's creek too.
Yeah, that's one of the main things about the app I'm creating. It's more, you know, because you can network anywhere. There's hundreds of networking apps. You know what I mean? But it's not like it's curated for a specific culture, our culture, right? That you can get on there and you'd be like, oh, this is like, I spend 20, 30 minutes on this app because it's interesting and, and I can learn some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And as time goes on, the goal is I want people to be able to get on here and create with different creatives and stuff like that and create companies like an LVMH. You know what I mean? So like LVMH, they run like all the luxury high-end brands, but they're under one umbrella. So
Yeah.
LVMH might own like Fendi,
Yeah.
Prada, you know what I mean? Even Rihanna's brand, you know what I mean? So, and that's something I understand, you know what I mean? Because I like to do a lot of shit. I'm creative myself. So
Yeah.
like I like to play drums. I like to look fly. I like to I love music. I love clothes. I love movies. That's my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like why can't a community, right? Like maybe my homeboy, like you said, you was good in geometry, or you good in math, or are you good in math, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you be out the accountant of, let's say it's four of us. I'm the rapper.
Yeah.
Somebody else is good at clothes. Somebody else is good at products or selling. You good at math. Why can't we create our own independent circle where we take care of ourselves? You know what I mean?
Because and I'm chiming in because it's certain things that the elders don't understand. And I was going through that shit when I was teaching first and second grade.
Mm.
This was like years ago. So I taught at Marcus Garvey Institute. I,
Wow.
I was teaching a youth. I only had 12 students in my class, right? So I took the smartest student out of each subject and I would let them teach 3 other students.
Mm.
So now it's like when I hand out the information, when they got questions, why not holler at my partner that know that can help break this down to me to where I know he gonna teach it to him where he understand it.
Mm.
I was doing this 20 years ago or 15 years ago.
Wow.
Now all them students in high school, I mean, they done graduated high school, they and some in college, some on working. But I'm like, I had to change shit up somehow. I
Yeah.
had to show my presence somehow. And this was 15 years ago.
Wow.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like the principal of the school didn't understand it.
The
I was
teaching.
using music to allow them to have the freedom to express themselves, to have confidence, and to direct the lane in which they want to go in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This was male or female. That didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't matter. But if I had somebody that was good at math, hey, man, teach them math.
Yeah.
Teach them how to break this down. Because once you teach them, their information ain't going nowhere. Because the kids understand it or the children understand it on the level that they understand it on.
Understand exactly.
So then when they broadcast it, why not let them sit behind the camera and record each other, do whatever they need to do? But you want to keep this old shit going. Fuck that old shit. I'm
Yeah.
not saying fuck the old people and fuck that way.
You need it for guidance, right?
You need them for guidance. But the young men for war, the old men for guidance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, the young ones that I come across now, I can't. Only thing I can do is, hey man, what's you straight in your head? You good? Or what skill set you learn? But then what I'm learning too is, or what I've learned is, I show by action.
Mm-hmm.
Literally got in the garden, right?
Yeah.
My homeboy, I've been knowing since the 3rd grade. He in the garden with his family.
Wow.
Exes, they in the garden. Homegirls, they in the garden. You know what I'm saying? They hit me with certain shit. And
Yeah.
I got an idea from that. Not gonna share it, but
Yeah.
I show it. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk off, you know what I'm saying, off this.
Sure.
But it's like what I see happening and what I see going on is I just changed my mind frame to say, I'm not gonna prepare for like a New Year's resolution. what am I gonna get done the next decade? So that way, I got time to get this shit done, knock some shit out, check some shit off. So if my focus is, let's just say I want 1,000 ounces of silver in the next decade, how am I gonna do that? If I want to have 1,000 paintings in different galleries all over the world, how am I gonna do that? If I want to cut hair in another country and go on a tour just cutting hair, how am I gonna do that? If I'm gonna record music, if I'm gonna write books, if I'm gonna write movies, if I'm gonna film some shit in this next decade, how am I gonna get it done? Because after this decade, it's the rest of my life. How am I gonna live this out? So that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you said earlier, like, how am I gonna approach? It's like, shit, I want to be a consultant for you. Because when somebody sits in my chair, they're just not sitting for the cut.
Right.
Some people need direction. Some people just need to get the shit off of them off with a haircut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times the people don't understand. Yeah, as a barber, I gotta study therapy because I feel like the next 10 years people gonna need therapy. Aromatherapy. Now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like now. But I'm saying, like, I just feel like the next 10 years, like, people really gonna need this shit because of this pandemic and what's going on. But we were the dentists, we were the doctors, we were the bloodletters, we were the preachers. Like, come on, man. Like, you got a skill set. But that's why I went back to skill set too.
Yeah.
But you were talking about another point. I didn't really want to stay in that and drive it home. But I think you were about to talk about the dead horse that's been beat, and I'm like, man, fuck that dead horse. But you can, you know what I'm saying? I think you were gonna get into the situation with Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how, like, first, what's your take? Because I know my take. I know my stance. I don't give a fuck what it, you know what I mean? Like,
Me.
I'm not losing no sleep on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just tired of it. Actually, I'll say this. I respect the Jews, man. I don't like them. All right. Let me take that back.
Yeah, you ain't got.
Not that I don't like them. I've never even, like, I don't even think I've ever had like a one-on-one with a Jew. So I can't even say I don't like them. But I will say, when you say some shit about them, they coming after you. So whether we like it or not, I respect that.
Guess why?
Why?
They own every fucking thing.
Right.
So they go back to the shit Kanye was saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they can talk that shit about anti-Semitism, but we the real Jews. We are the people that they talking about. They the so-called Jews. You know what I'm saying? Whether people like it or not. Like, this ain't no old conversation. These fuckers act like it's an old conversation. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, you own Viacom, you own Wild 'N Out, you own Nick Jr., you own Disney. Who was the president of the NBA?
The president?
Yeah, who was running the NBA?
You mean like the commissioner or the president?
Yeah, commissioner.
Oh, David Stern?
Well, he you
talking about Adam Silver?
Yeah. What you think he is?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
he ain't never shot a basketball day in his life.
how many shots does he have to put up? But don't he control the motion of that shit?
Yeah.
But what we sitting back doing? I thought about this since we brought that up. The Negro Leagues. We have a thriving league as a people. No different than the buses that we could be on now in Birmingham. I mean, not Birmingham, but like with the bus boycott, like we could be on in that company right now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And you go from there to saying like we had a baseball league that was thriving,
Right.
and now you telling me like this shit got to die out because a few people go to the majors? Why ain't we just keep our shit and wipe our ass with it?
Right.
But everybody want to do the integration talk. I'm like, fuck that shit.
Oh man, that
So,
shit.
so, so again, they go back to you have an opportunity to own BET.
Mm-hmm.
You have an opportunity to own your own platform, but you decide to give it away. Guess what could be on right now? BET could be tapped into all the so-called historically black colleges.
Right. Shout out to
Guess what?
shout out to Morehouse in Atlanta.
So not only that, we could start learning in a way in which it benefits every so-called black college where the students control the media that's coming out. At the basketball games, who running the cameras? At the football games, who running the cameras? Who doing the interviews for the students? And then they can learn about Marcus Garvey. They can learn about the Nation of Islam. They can learn about all these things. Why? If you go to any of these other colleges, what the fuck do you think they teaching
Hold
them?
on, you are you back?
What do you think? What do you think they teaching their students? They're teaching them about themselves.
Right. The Jews are never what they think is never forget, or you know what I mean? But they'll tell black people like slavery that was 100 years ago, let it go.
It's still, it's still going on. That's why I fuck with Kanye. That's why I fuck with Dame Dash.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Dame Dash been saying it for the whole time. I've been saying certain shit too. Where in Memphis, I was telling the fam like, go shop at the black grocery store, the so-called black grocery store. I don't want to shop in there because that motherfucker stink. Well, bitch, pick up a mop. Why don't you set up a contract to clean up the store?
Right.
Why don't you find a fucking produce? Why don't you find a farmer that has produce that we can bring in the store?
Right.
Why don't you create this instead of the same old narrative? Oh, we just gonna let our shit close, and then when it close, you asking for where the fucking shit at? It ain't there no more.
Ooh, that's powerful right there, what you just said.
It ain't there no more. So if you create a job by cleaning this up, you could do it for free for the first month or whatever.
Yeah.
But keep that shit clean. Keep that shit smelling good. Bring people in.
Yeah.
But that's got to be okay. The kids that's working at Chick-fil-A, let me hire you to come do what the fuck you need to do.
Did you see that post on Instagram with the lady that literally took those two girls out the McDonald's and said, if you want to come work,
And she
leave
gonna pay them even more. Why? Because she can do that. She has her own business.
our own, yeah.
When you have a restaurant and you could delegate the power,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a team to make a dream work.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
My
sir.
homie always said, believe, achieve, motivate, man. Like these just principles, man, that me and
Yeah.
the homies always talked about, bro. Like
Not and even like with her giving them a job, that's why like I don't even be mad at Jews and like white people and stuff like that. Like with nepotism and stuff like that, I'd be like,
be mad.
yeah, I'd be like, shit, I would do that. Like
They
if my
protect their own. They
right,
spend money with each other. They can argue and disagree, but they ain't.
never cancel each other. Like I'm canceling, you know what I mean? That shit. We quick to
I,
cancel our only billion. Like
I'm
we,
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something I laugh at on the inside,
yeah,
but I'm crying on the outside.
yeah,
I think they supposed to be doing some fucking march on Black Wall Street Parkway or some dumb shit.
yeah.
You know, like, and I say this loosely. Why the fuck would you electric slide up and down the street and look at this as a some type of pacifier, bro? Like, motherfucker, I don't need you talking on my behalf and marching and saying shit, nigga. Like,
Man,
you every time a nigga get killed, who they call? Who
right.
do that? So you gonna take a bunch of niggas up there and electric slide down the street. Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Man, man, the ones that see it, and it's just like sometimes it get exhausting, bro. It's like you see that, you like, what the like really like, and then people are really participating in this shit. It's like that's like a slap in the face, disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, to show homage, we're gonna allow you to electric slide. What type of shit is that?
We're gonna paint on the ground for you.
Like, bro, keep that shit.
Why don't you invest that money into my culture?
Right.
You don't gotta paint. Don't change no street sign. Don't paint shit. Don't do none of that shit.
Right. Like,
you wasting resources now.
Just wasting resources just to just to say it's like that Tyler Perry thing. I mean, not Tyler Perry, but Tyler the Creator. It's like giving your little cousin or your little brother the controller that don't work and telling, and so he act like, to make him feel like he playing the game. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That shit is fucking crazy. And like I hope Tyler Perry does. I hope he gives some writers some opportunity to build a platform on which he already has. Not no bubblegum, no bullshit videos and movies and shit. Some shit that can withstand the times.
Yeah, some art. That's
real,
what's like real art.
Like that's what, to me, that's what's, and I know other people, that's what's missing.
Yeah.
Like you said, if somebody was traveling around with my art, the value goes up.
Talk about it.
Hey, who did that? But then what that does, that opens a door for me to say, okay, I'm gonna do another piece, but it's gonna be two pieces instead of one. The background gonna be one color, the other one, you know what I'm saying? It helps me dive, and then that's therapeutic for me because the energy that my clients may bring, I don't always have nowhere to send it. But through transmutation, I can go ahead and put it into a paint.
Ooh, you just took it somewhere else, bro. You just took that somewhere else, bro. That's deep. That's metaphysical. Metaphysical. Yeah.
That's cause it's a lot of times what's not taught to us is to think from the inside out, meaning from the heart to the brain versus the brain to the heart. Feel what I'm saying? Where it's like,
yeah,
one of the things that I'm looking to set up is a space where I'm saying, don't bring the shit out from the world into this place. Take what's inside out to the world.
Take it to the world. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's like some God body. Some things, I grew up Christian, and a lot of the stories in the Bible, I take them as metaphors. Like you could take them and learn things like really about life. And that is what Jesus essentially did. Like, his body was, it was just like a vehicle that was moving around the world, but it was actually his, his spirit he was the spirit, not the actual body. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reading this book now. It's called Seat of the Soul. I'm on the first chapter, but already that first chapter is like, it talks about like, we was raised to look at life in our five senses, right? So smell, hearing, touch, taste, seeing, right? And so we were taught to live in a five sensory world.
Mm-hmm.
And what they talk about is how to live in like how to understand your energy and your spirit, right? When it encounters other spirits and other energies, not like if somebody look at you and is mean mugging, and then you get defensive and, it creates like it's a physical thing, but like try to understand your spirit to understand other people's spirits. You know what I mean? I'm still on the first chapter, but we could.
It's like it take time to understand it. just like
Yeah.
it's taking me time to understand and go full circle on some things where um I watched The Secret
Mm.
recently, but
Yeah.
I saw it like 20 years ago and read and all that. And
Yeah, I read
The Secret ain't nothing but the Kabbalion, ain't nothing but the seven hermetic principles. When you
that.
talk about gender,
Mm-hmm.
correspondence, cause and effect, mentalism, you know what I'm saying? That's that's all it is. The law of attraction. That's it ain't nothing but the Kabbalion.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not knocking a Christian. I'm not knocking a Muslim.
Mm-mm.
I'm not knocking a Buddhist. But when I see some shit and I acknowledge it, when I walk into a church and I'm looking at it like, hey man, who is this white boy on the wall? But all you niggas around me, something ain't right about this shit. Like I'm little saying this shit.
Yeah.
You can fool a damn fool. You can't piss on me and tell me it's raining either though.
No, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it takes time to come into I think the existence of self
Yeah.
and me being able to be 39 now. And I said this before, like my grandmother, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King died at 39.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So me being able to be at this point, I feel like a lot of maturation has gone on. And I feel like I'm becoming more of a man now than I ever have in the past. I feel like the time frame of what I learned in that, you know what I'm saying, in that space and in that time was good for me.
As you
Some
should.
good, some bad, yeah. But it's like I'm alive, I'm still kicking it. And I got purpose. I got, you know what I'm saying, I'm driven and I'm ambitious.
Blessed.
You know what I'm saying? There's some things that I want to see, just like this art, like you said, the art behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my daughter piece. But you know, learning and going back to the beginning topic, like the cryptocurrency. I'm
Mm-hmm.
even learning how the crypto and the blockchain technology is gonna be attached to stuff like paintings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where you ain't gonna be able to duplicate that. Once that person buys it, you know what I'm saying? That's you gonna know in the future that that was that piece.
And it raises value.
And yeah, it raises
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah, it raises the value.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it's an original piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 5 more minutes, bro. So
Nah, that's cool. That's cool. I just wanted to I just wanted to tap in, man. Like,
show I needed this, man.
yeah, I mean, same here, cause it's some things that I'm working on now. Um,
Yeah, so what you So what you working on?
um, other than a garden, I've been painting. I've been back in the shop, been cutting. I'm actually working on a course that I'm setting up called Formula One.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about that real quick, or it's still
I mean, no, it's in motion. It's just more or less. I see a gap. I see holes in how the youth have been learning, and it came from a conversation that one of my brothers and I have. You know what I'm saying? That we had where I was thinking about setting up something for teenagers,
mm-hmm.
giving them formulas to life that really can help enhance them now, that they can carry on in the 20s, in the 30s, in the 40s, in the 50s, and you know what I'm saying, to just keep
Mm-hmm.
progressing. And he happened to come to me with a conversation where he was just like, "Hey man, are you having people come to you borrowing money that's in between the age of 20 and 28?" And I was like, "Nah." And I was like, "Formula One." So I actually came up with a formula. I don't want to give it out, but I came up with a formula that I feel like it's a winning formula. So that's where the Formula One came from. And
Dope.
and now I'm like, it's not just gonna be me speaking, but I have people that are stronger in certain areas and standpoints that I plan on bringing on board to converse. You know what I'm saying? One may be about credit, and that's as far as I'm gonna go into this, the conversation. But
Yeah, I feel you.
I feel like the wisdom that's been bestowed upon me is gonna help me show from action that things that have worked for me and some things that didn't work. You know what I mean? As well as on top of the formula, I have a book called Got Vision that I finally, got a chance to sit
See
down.
that behind you.
Yeah. So Got Vision is my it's a song that I wrote called Got Vision. Cause I always said, if Stevie Wonder can't see, so called, you know what I'm saying? But he's been able to do what he's been able to do. You gotta have vision. The other thing was my grandmother. My grandmother, before she passed, she wound up telling my uncles and them like, uh, one day you're gonna be able to press a button and travel all the way around the world. And this was in the 60s.
Mm.
And it's like, that's to me, that was the internet.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's
So
busy.
yeah, so that's vision, you know what I'm saying? So if she had that vision and we talked, and it's like, I see shit 100 years from now, especially with seeing hemp, cannabis, that conversation being talked about, um, and just other things in general. How right now it's the open source time that we can really be studying, gathering information, gathering knowledge, and man, it's perfect time, bro.
Perfect time. And I hope, I just feel this personally like it's a window. We need to capitalize now before that window closes.
Well, I understand, but like the window never closes.
I don't know, man. I think if we drop the ball, but some things are destined. I believe in that too. Like some things are just destined to be, but I feel like um, we're in the most freest time ever in human existence. It ain't that much. It ain't slavery going on. Nobody's really enslaved, like physically enslaved.
In other countries, they are like Libya and shit. That shit going on.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I feel what you're saying. It's just more or less like
I feel yeah.
I'm adding to the plate of saying like,
No, yeah. Actually, yeah, you're right about that. I did just see the
if you
article.
go if you look at the stock I told you about, Kodak.
Hmm.
Some people be like, damn, I missed out on opportunity. I got on an opportunity some years ago on a company called CGI. It was a cannabis company that was dealing with dementia. I invested into it. I made a profit off of it. I reinvested my profits.
Hmm.
My thing is, I did it. I got involved with it. So I could have been like, man, the window closed.
Mm.
You just told me about Kodak. The window closed. But then artificial intelligence, the window closed. Waste management, the window closed. Cryptocurrency, the window closed. That's why I'm saying like everybody doesn't come into shit like Vest or decides to build a website or an app.
Yeah. I okay, let me kind of try to rephrase what I meant by that. That I 100% agree with you on those opportunities. But let's just take COVID-19 for example, right? And then there's a bigger, broader point. But like even with COVID-19, that was a window where people could be at home creating shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Creating shit that has set them up for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that window is closed. As far as like people just being able to sit home and get unemployment and get benefits and landlords saying you ain't got to pay rent. That window's closed. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things. And for like the bigger point, there hasn't been a major war going on in the world physically. There's probably like biological and like cyber wars going on,
Mm-hmm.
but physically, we're in the most peaceful time, and I don't know if that's gonna be if that's gonna be what it is for the next 50, to 100 years. You know what I'm saying? Because anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just feel like as a people, because I can only speak for, I guess, not all my people, but like black people, so-called black people, we are in a time right now where we have to take advantage of the technology,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have to take advantage of the cannabis
Yeah.
because we used to get locked up for that. So, we can't be doing that. We got to learn the game and get into the game, right? So like those types of windows, because I don't know if they could, they could come in and then just completely dominate that market. And now we out.
They already dominating the market. So it's like the thing is, like I'm saying, opportunity favors the prepared. Like basically what you said.
Yeah.
If you don't, if I don't shoot 100 jumpers, or if I
Mhm.
don't shoot 1,000 jumpers, when I get to the game, I'm just gonna be in my regular routine.
Right.
But with that precision of shooting 1,000 jumpers, when I get on the court and I get in a hot spot, and the coach didn't realize this is what I was doing, but when I get the ball and I just let that bitch rip, and I'm
Mhm.
hitting, and he gonna have to start calling my damn name. He gonna have to get me off the bench so I can shoot this bitch,
Right.
regardless of however he feel about any of his other players. So if you got that in you, it's gonna come. It's gonna come out. What you've been doing in your downtime, you're gonna be able to present it. And your tribe of people, that's what's gonna come forward. That's what's been coming forward for me. When I say, "Hey, bro, sit in my chair, bro. You don't owe me no bread, cause you've been putting money in my hand. You've been giving me a tip, and because you've been giving me a tip, and you sit down, whatever you're going through, cool. And then I cut your head, and you go, and 5 more clients come in. That's transmutation of energy. Now I'm seeing energy flow, and it ain't just money or currency is energy.
Mm.
But it depends on how you see it up here. If you just look at the paper money ain't worth shit based on what I'm seeing with the value of gold and silver. I'm not
Mm.
saying it's I'm not saying that it don't work.
Yeah, you gotta buy food and shit. I feel
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
But now you can take that money and you can go and invest in agriculture courses, which I've done that.
Yeah.
You can invest in the shit on like learning how to do graphic design. I'm
Mm.
doing that shit. You can invest in a coding class, start learning about code. I can invest into some clippers. You know what I'm saying? I can invest into learning about trust.
Most important is you
It's me. So if I'm invest, that's what I'm saying. Like me investing into those things, or investing into myself.
yourself, right?
So guess what? Now I need food. I don't got to go to nobody.
Mm.
But let people know where they can find you, bro. And
Yeah, man. So let me get on a big announcement real quick. So I need everybody to go and follow Bizzychain on Instagram.
we'll put that in. We'll put that out there too.
Okay, for sure. And it's an app from, you know, our people that look like you, people that think like you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just let's support each other, obviously. But don't support me because I'm black.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give good work. I'm gonna give value. You
Do
know what I'm
support
saying?
do support him because he said he's black.
Yeah,
Fuck that shit.
yeah,
We
for
need
sure.
we need it
So
from
yeah,
all over the world, bro.
yes, sir. And you can follow me on Instagram at Mike_Born Royal. And we gonna do this again and again and again, man.
Oh man, you gotta sit at the table, man. That's what the people in other countries, when you come and sit as a nation, and they
Yeah,
tell you can sit as a nation of people, yeah, you gotta sit at the table, bro.
for
Just
sure. I appreciate that.
yeah. But again, I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Art the Architect with More Than a Haircut podcast, man. I appreciate you coming on.
No
Um,
doubt.
definitely appreciate the conversation, man. Like I needed this because you are and you represent the youth, not just the millennials. Because I feel like I'm a millennial as well, but the next generation got to know what's going on, and we gotta support y'all, bro.
And thank you for giving the knowledge, man.
Yeah, for
Thank
real.
you for being patient with the youth. You know what I mean? And
Man,
not judging the youth, but being
you
patient.
gotta be.
Yes,
If
sir.
I ain't patient with you, man, what I'm judging you?
Yeah,
Nah, man. Everybody running to the wall at some point.
for sure.
What
Sure.
you do after you get knocked down, you get up. What you gonna do now?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, hold it down, man.
Thank you.
Peace, man.
Peace.